In my 30 or so years in business, I've had the good fortune of partnering with 4 different entrepreneurial thinkers in the 7 businesses that I've built and started. And I found that their way of thinking is actually very unique and very uncommon in the world. I found that they tend to be wide in their minds with this one question: what? What do I want to achieve? What can I do today? What needs to be done? And they ask a lot of questions that are very what based. They're thinking about what they want and why that's important to them. Now, by studying entrepreneurs and working with them and partnering with them, often I start talking about how that's going to be achieved with what they're imagining. And it's funny, but they don't really want to indulge in a lot of that conversation. They don't tend to focus on how something will be done. They just know what they can do today, and that's what they focus on and achieving what they're aiming for long term. By using this process in mentoring business owners over the last couple of decades, I've found that by just getting them really clear in answering this one question: what do you want to achieve in the next 2, 5 or 10 years, and describe it in detail, it's extraordinary what happens soon after. I always say forget the how, it's not relevant, because what happens is when we start to think about what we really want, the how part of our brain starts to kick in, and sometimes a thought comes up that says, if I don't know how to achieve it, why even think about it? Let's not be disappointed. So sometimes that's what happens in our lives. Now, by facilitating the process with business owners and just getting them to think on what it is that they really want, and then saying, let's leave the how after we get really clear on what you want, some extraordinary things have happened. I've noticed in a lot of the cases, just by doing this in a lot of detail and documenting it so it becomes real and gives life to these ideas, that almost magical things happen in the next couple of weeks. I've found that businesses often get busier as a result of defining what it is that they want. All of a sudden they get more leads, they get more sales, they get more jobs, etc. They just start coming in over the next couple of weeks. And it's happened so regularly, I always ask the question from that first discussion in depth to a couple of weeks later: what's been happening in your business? Have you noticed anything? And they say, it's funny, but I seem to have picked up more sales, more work's coming in. I don't know where from, it's just happening. And I don't go into a discussion about it because it sounds a bit weird if you describe why this is happening, but I believe you start to attract things that you get clearer on in your own mind. How to achieve it, to me, is secondary. It's really that what-based thinking. You look at how the entrepreneurs think and they're very much what. And then someone comes along and say, hey, you're going to do it? Have you thought about this? And they say, no, but that sounds like a good thing to give you to do. And they like to delegate a lot of that how to people that they employ or people around them. So they often partner with those how people that like the rudder guiding them, even though they want to ice break and smash through any limitations. They need someone to often steer them to navigate through their path to achieving their goals. By sitting down with business owners and doing this, it's a revelation what can happen in a very, very quick period of time. When you have clarity, it leads to confidence, so that we displace any doubt or fear or skepticism sometimes of achieving our goals. It elevates us into a higher state of mind where often the how is revealed from that state of mind. If you know what I'm talking about and you've experienced this yourself, I'd love to hear it in the comments. So for you that are watching, if this sounds of value to you, I encourage you to take 2 to 3 hours out and just fully document what it is that you desire from business ownership. What would enrich your life? What would make you happier? What would give you more freedom or enjoyment personally outside of your business if you were to achieve it? And just keep thinking about that and dwelling on it for a couple of hours. And I'd love to hear from you if you get some revelations or some interesting insights on that. Thanks for watching.